We'll begin today in a comfortable seat. Use that rolled blanket underneath you to sit up on the edge of that. You can have your knees, yourself in half lotus, or you can kneel up and have that blanket underneath the sits bones. But let's make sure we put our mind's eye to those sits bones as our anchor here. So that the anchor is through the sits bones. Rub the hands together and place those warm hands on your lower back with your elbows reaching behind you. Already you can feel the inhale and the exhale traveling differently through the body. You can feel the warmth of your hands on that lower back. Someone's coming in. And you can feel the curve in your lower back. So if that curve is not there, then you'll want to sit up higher on that blanket or take a block. And you'll want a block handy for today's practice, and also a belt. So we'll get into our opening those hamstrings, which are related to our lower back. So come to that seated. The anchor of the sits bones, and place your hands on the thighs so that you have a sense of grounding if your palms are down, or a sense of receiving with your palms upward towards the sky. Close the eyes, cut out our visual distractions, perhaps to cut out the distractions of our mind flurry, and come into the breath. Notice your breath. By witnessing your breath, you can begin to be your own witness, your own healer. The great thing about yoga is we practice together, but again, it's individual practice. So we're learning and constantly learning how to better heal ourselves. And we can do this from the comfort of our own home. Continue to witness your breath, inhales and exhales. Simply noticing the quality of your breath. For a few rotations here. Perhaps with each inhale, you feel that fresh renewal coming into the body, and the exhale, you sense that release of tension a little more each time. No judging. Maybe with each exhale, you sense a relaxation in the face or another area of the body that you're carrying tension or stress. We'll do our best today to set up our lumbar area, that lower back that carries a lot of weight and tension, to release a little bit more so we can walk forward or even lie down more comfortably or sit more comfortably. All of the activities that the lower back has to lead a lot of the time. Let's see if we can give it some respite from that. On your next inhale, see if you can send that inhale into the lower back area. So when you expand the belly for that inhale, you're sending that energy towards the pelvis, that base of the spine. And on the exhale, let's lengthen the exhale out beyond the inhale length so that we can really make a nice release there. Inhale again, invite renewing energy to that lower spine region, the large muscles of the hips, and the glutes getting some release. One more rotation, send that inhale in to the depths of that pelvic bowl, feeling an expansion, and exhale, release, squeeze it out. Release the hands down to the mat beside you, flutter the eyes open, and feel the fingertips touching the mat, another base for your spine to lift from. So we've got the sits bones, And we're going to inhale energy all the way up through the crown of the head, reaching up towards the sky, getting a little taller. And on your next exhale, we'll flip those palms up towards the sky, take the arms up above the head, and use your side bodies to reach up higher. Imagine that you're in the middle of a giant circle, and we're going to travel along the circumference of that circle. Take your hands, clasp fingers, and the index finger pointing upward. Yes, and let's just sway side to side on the inside of that imaginary circle around you, reaching up through those side bodies to reach the rim of that circle, feeling an expansion along the rib cage, out of the pelvis, coming out of the hip bones to expand upward. Follow your breath. Inhale nice and long, release the fingers, and we're going to drop the hands back down to the earth. Touch down with both sides of the fingertips. And we're going to take a travel along that circumference of the circle, but this time a bigger movement. So we're going to take the right fingertips and walk them over to the side of the mat. Plant the palm down. Feel the right ear bend towards the right shoulder, and just hang your left hand down for a moment, feeling a release. Take the left hand to the left hip and get that sense of grounding through the left sits bone so it doesn't reach upward. Inhale, feel the ear lift towards the sky on that left side, and exhale, release towards that right palm. And then lift your left arm up towards the sky and along the rim of that circle, so the circumference of that large circle. Reach it up towards it as you come over, full arc over to the left side so that the left arm is next to the left ear. And then sweep up along that arc, semicircle with the left fingertips, and come back up to vertical, planting the left fingertips down to the mat. Release the left ear towards the left shoulder as you exhale. Walk the left fingertips over towards the edge of the mat. Plant that palm down so you have a sense of the earth below you. Hang the right arm for a moment, just feeling that release along the right side. And on your next exhale, take the right hand and press down on the right thigh so you can really expand on the right ribs, and then reach the right arm up towards the sky. Inhale, bring the right ear up towards the sky a little bit more, towards that arc semicircle above you, and then release with the exhale towards the left side, reaching the right arm next to right ear. And then reach the right arm up again. Let's travel along that arc space, then lift the left arm too, and come over to the right side. So make this long and luxurious, traveling back and forth, sweeping the arms above you to the other side, following your breath. Inhaling as you go up and exhaling as you land. And really see if you can squeeze out a little more expansion on every exhale. Cleaning out some cobwebs there in between the ribs. One more time. Waving, reaching upward. Great. I see those shapes out there. And then come on back. Reach the arms on an inhale up towards the sky. Let's take the hands in prayer position. If you felt like you wanted to change the cross of your legs right now, you can do that. Let's reach through palms pressing together through that prayer. As you press the palms together and the fingers together, you'll feel a different sensation in the shoulders. So when you press the palms together, you'll feel some larger muscles of the shoulder complex engage, which is great because now you're waking those up. As you press the palms together, we're going to just take a gentle twist side to side, as we take that prayer position down towards in front of the face. So it's making a traveling downward towards the earth as we twist side to side with the ribs. Gently with your breath. Bring the thumbs past the third eye, between the eyebrows, making that travel downward as you twist. Easy side to side. Squeezing the air out. And bring that prayer position in front of the heart. Now we can feel again those shoulders engaged. Press the palms together and see if you can bring the shoulders up to the ears and then release with an exhale down while still pressing those palms together so you've got those shoulders engaged. Take the prayer position, the fingers up towards your nose and then down again. So we're doing some nerve flossing here in case you've had any strain in your wrists. And then bring it in front of the heart, prayer position. And then we're going to point the fingers downward towards the floor. And then we'll flip the hands so that the back of the hands are together, like this. And then flip the hands forward, keeping those backs of the hands together. And then your palms will be forward like you're taking a cupping your hands like there's water coming into them, kind of refreshing water. And then bring that water towards you. So you're splashing the water on yourself. Imagine that. And then the back of the hands come together again. And then you're going to flip the fingers towards the earth and come back to prayer position. And we'll try that again. Dive those fingertips towards the earth. Back of the hands together. And then continue breathing and come forward as if you're getting water from a fountain or a waterfall, and then bring the water towards you, splashing, sort of beautiful washing movement, and then bring the back of the hands together and then the palms together. Inhale that prayer position up towards the sky, and then bring the hands together, clasping them together, and bring those clasped hands, palms forward, underneath your skull, like the base of the skull. That's the occipital ridge, and it's a very nice therapeutic place for our hands to be. A lot of pressure points there. Keep the elbows out to the side. And if this is comfortable for you, you're going to guide your chin over towards the right, kind of turning over towards the right, guiding your neck range there. Exhale back through center and over to the other side. Left side. You can go back and forth here, exploring your neck range, guiding your skull as it turns side to side. The exploration here. When you come back to face forward, now guide your gaze upward, just gently cupping the skull at the base there as you look up. Maybe a tiny, tiny lift so you feel that back bend, and then guide the chin down towards the heart. And look down, notice that sensation there. Inhale back up, and we'll take it side to side. So right ear toward right shoulder while you support the skull. So we're really kind of decompressing that neck as we turn side to side. Only go as far as is comfortable. There's no force here. We're just exploring and softening. Beautiful. Nice. And now release the hands, just shake that out. We'll take this into T arms just so we have a sense of our wingspan possibilities. Gaze over your right fingertips and take your left hand palm and press the fingers up so you're pressing against an imaginary wall. Let's see if I can make myself more visible there. Pressing against that wall, looking over the fingertips of the right hand. Take the left palm and slide it towards the back of the room. Flossing those nerves again. Maybe if we've had a little strain on those fingertips lately, and then come forward again And look forward into the T-arms, gaze over your left fingertips. Take the right palm pressing against an imaginary wall, and then slide that right palm towards the back of the room if you can. Exhale. Feel the buzz along your right arm, that's okay. And then slide it back to T-arms and down. Release those legs and we'll come onto our backs, really making ourselves long, prepping ourselves for a really flowing practice as we stand later. But let's get long and relief in the lower back before we do that. So what we're going to do today is use a block or a blanket underneath the sacrum. So bring yourself to a reclined position. Soles of the feet on the floor, getting down there, I would just ease through, using your hands to help you down. And take the soles of the feet to the floor, knees bent to begin with. So we'll have our knees bent, hip width apart, just noticing a different shape on the mat, always bringing that awareness to our body shape in space, helping that connect with our breath again. As we bring the awareness into the body, we notice the path of the breath. Send that inhale towards the pelvis, expand the belly in all directions. Feel that expansion through the lower back. And as you exhale, you'll notice that rise of the lower back off the mat, and that's good. You want that little curve. So you can grab your block now or your blanket, and we're going to press through the footprints, spreading the toes out, getting nice base. Inhaling, lift the hips up towards the sky. Take that block and place it underneath the sacrum. So the sacrum being at the base of the spine, we want to be really comfortable here. As you settle your sacrum down, you'll notice whether it's comfortable or not. You again, as your own healer, as your own guide, you can notice what's comfortable and what's not. It should feel really good. If it's too high and that's not comfortable for you, you could take this idea of a rolled blanket and place that under your hips if that is too much for you. So adjust as you need. Feel that support beneath you. Inhale, exhale, take the arms down beside the body and see if you can melt your shoulders towards the mat a little bit with your exhale. They're going to want to lift up, just the natural occurrence of the rounding of the back. Let's undo that and feel gravity pushing those shoulders towards the earth. Great. Inhale and exhale as we are here in our easy bridge position. Let's see if we can straighten the right leg along the mat, reaching towards the mat, keeping that right foot super active as if it's pressing against the floor or a wall. And inhale and exhale, let's straighten out the left leg. Standing against our imaginary surface with the feet, you start to feel a lift and an arch, encouraging an arch in that spine, feeling longer. Now you can flop your feet out to the side with your exhale. Take your fingertips and just notice your hip bones facing forward, upward. So throughout our standing practice, we're also going to pay attention to those hip bones, that they're facing forward and even in our practice today. So take your fingertips, and you can even take the fingertips along the edge of the hip bones and gently pull outward towards the outside of the body, the outward edges of the body, because the pelvis does have some ability to move little millimeters, and take a new path there if that's comfortable for you. Should feel very therapeutic, and we're also massaging a part of the psoas muscle, which holds our stability together with the legs and the torso. Reach upward with the arms next to the ears, so we're super long from the feet to the fingertips. Drape yourself over the block or the blanket. Feel this length as you just allow, again, that sense of gravity to release with every exhale. Fill the belly, Invite that inhale in, and exhale, release tension. Take your left hand, grab your right wrist, see if you can encourage that side bend on the right, lifting up with your left hand, lift the right wrist upward and release. Take the right hand to the left wrist and a nice long side bend on the left. Come back to center. Inhale, bend the knees, and we'll take both footprints to the floor again. If you need to adjust, you can do that at that sacrum point. Take the arms down beside the body. Inhale the right knee towards the face and hold the shin. Just feel that opening through the hip. Let's circle that right ankle in one circle in one direction and then another direction. Maybe some snap and crackle happening there. And then we'll just take that right knee towards the right armpit. And then take your hands to the back of that right thigh or to the ankle and take that right sole, the right foot towards the ceiling. So we're in a half happy baby position here. Really opening the hips. And just seeing if you could bring your awareness to the right hip. And also the sacrum. So if the sacrum's trying to kind of go crooked, see if you can straighten that out and really connect with that block or the blanket. And we'll get a little hamstring stretch here while we're here. So if you have your strap handy, you can take it around the sole of that right foot and then reach upward towards the sky, holding on to the strap. Just spending a few moments here with our hamstrings, reaching up long. Take that leg into a diagonal position if you don't like to go too deep into flexion. But either way, reach through the heel, inhale, exhale. As you exhale, feel the leg settle into that hip bone on the right side. So we're becoming aware of the back of the leg. As we allow more flexibility in the back of the leg, we're really relieving the lower back as well. And then take that right heel across the midline of the body towards the left hip. Spend a few rotations of breath here. And as you exhale, bring it back to a neutral position. And we'll just turn the toes out to the right. So in a diagonal position, the right heel comes towards the right, pointing the right to the left foot. So we're taking this diagonal direction, just trying to describe this. It's hard to see on the screen. Take the right heel towards the left foot and the right toes towards the right shoulder. So we're visiting another hamstring connection here while we hold on to that foot with the strap. Maybe some particular sensation happening on the right side. Just breathe into it. Guide your foot back to a neutral position, bend the knee and release the strap. And bring that right knee towards the right armpit again. See if it feels differently this time. You can grab the side of the foot or the back of the thigh or the ankle. And on this round of our half happy baby, let's see if we can lengthen the left leg and straighten it out towards the bottom of the mat. Again, no strain here. Your left knee might remain bent, and that's okay. It's just negotiating some tightness there through your psoas. Reaching through your left foot. And then take the left arm next to the left ear. So you really feel like your left side is finding length while the right hip opens with each exhale. Sweep that left arm next to the body, bend the left knee, bring the left foot down to the earth, plant that down, And then release your right leg down. Inhale the left knee towards the face. Take the hands to the shin and take the left knee towards the left armpit. So we're aligned nicely here. Take the hands to the back of the thigh. Reach the left sole of the foot up towards the ceiling in our half happy baby. Noticing our left hip. And also bring the awareness back to that sacrum. Inhale. Notice the sacrum. Exhale. See if you can gently plant that sacrum onto the block, keeping it aligned with the skull. And then take the strap if you have one and take it around the ball of the left foot and straighten out the left leg up towards the sky. And notice your left hamstring here. Spread the toes out. Maybe that'll kind of expand things a little bit. Guide your leg wherever it wants to be. No pain or pinching. Sensation is definitely a guarantee, but let's not have pain. Now take the left heel towards the right hip. A little more buzz and sensation, probably. Hamstrings like to remind us that they're there. And then guide your foot back to that neutral position and take the left toes toward the left shoulder and the left heel towards the right foot. So again, guiding that foot outward and the knee outward a little bit. We are in our other hamstring connection there. You've got the support of the strap, so you can customize as you need to the angle of your leg. Everything's in control. Your individual practice. Guide the foot back to neutral. Bend the knee and release the strap. Bring that knee backward back towards the body, back towards the left armpit, hands around that thigh or the ankle, half happy baby. And then take the right leg and straighten it out if you can along the mat. You'll notice even on my shape here that my right knee is bent as I try to reach that leg long. There's just some tightness in the psoas, quads. That's what we're trying to renegotiate here and get some more opening in the body on that right side. Reach the right arm, inhale, take that next to the right ear. So you've got a really long right side. Feel that descent of your left thigh towards the earth with your exhale. Sweep the right arm with your exhale next to the body, bend the right leg. Sole the foot on the floor. Release that left foot down to the earth. Renegotiate that sacrum on the mat or the blanket, and we'll invite both of those knees towards the chest. And bring both soles of the feet towards the sky. Nice and easy here in our happy baby. Hold the ankles, whatever's comfortable. And you've got your sacrum supported here. Relax the face. Should be a bit easier now that we've done our half happy babies. Maybe a full happy baby feels super happy. And then take the hands to the back of the thighs and gently guide your feet back down to the earth. Nice. And then feeling that Sacrum planted firmly on the mat. We're going to take our candlestick legs now, getting a little bit of strength through that strengthening exercise through the lower abdominals towards that pelvic floor. So inhale, send that inhale down to the pelvis and lift the knees up towards the sky, and then straighten the legs upward. So we've got standing like candlesticks, both legs up. Take your arm length next to the body and press the length of the arm into the mat. So now you've got that base. Your torso is your base and your sacrum on the block or the blanket. Point the toes, alternating, tiptoeing through our tulips, wherever, field of flowers, upside down. And then flex the feet again and point together and flex and point. More of our hamstring work here. Exhale and inhale nicely and gently. Okay, now bring the feet back to our flexed position, and we're going to open the legs out into a V. As you do this, you're going to notice the lower abdominals engage, so send lots of breath down to the pelvis. Exhale. Inhale as the legs go out. Exhale. Bring them together. Changing our shape from our habitual patterns. We don't do this much throughout the day, so let's strengthen those inner thighs. Great, bring the candlestick legs up again. And now bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet together. So we're coming into our cobbler, keep the feet pressing together, and then alternate back up on your inhale, back up to candlestick. Exhale, bring those feet together and knees out, and then reach up towards the sky. Really gliding through our hips here. Just practice. Reach up. And then bring those feet back down to earth. And lift the hips up, remove your block, and roll over towards our all fours position, cat-cow. And I'll just fix my hair tie here, and we'll meet in tabletop, all fours. Cushion your feet with a blanket. And keep your block handy. We're going to put that between the thighs as well. Find your neutral spine, the sit bones reaching towards the bottom of the mat. Just find yourself in space here in this different shape. Wrists below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Inhale, send that energy to the bottom of the spine. Exhale, squeeze the air out. As you squeeze it out, feel the navel toning towards the spine. And then take that block and you can place it between the thighs. And we'll take a cat-cow, keeping that awareness with squeezing that block at whatever setting keeps your knees hip-width apart. Inhale, tuck that tailbone towards the sky, towards the earth, and lift the back of the ribs up towards the sky. Look down at your knees and that block. Exhale, lift the tailbone up towards the sky. Then the navel comes down towards the mat. Shoulder blades squeeze together and we lift up, looking up in cow position. Alternate with your breath. Inhale, lifting up, traveling the entire length of the spine. Exhaling into cow. One more time. Inhale, lift up, send your inhale all the way to the bottom of your spine, floating yourself up in the back body. Exhale into cow. Really travel up the spine, looking up. Remove the block. And then we can just reach out with our right leg long, lift it up off the mat. We'll do a rotation here of our bird dog so we can lift the left arm next to the left ear. Find your hip bones again. See how even they can be as you lift the right leg and the left arm. Exhale, come back down, touch down, and we'll take the other side. Lift left leg long, curl the toes under, lift the left leg off the mat, and find your hip bones. Are they even? And then inhale the right arm next to the right ear. Hold that, feel the navel reaching towards the spine, kind of toning that abdominal region. Exhale, come on down. And then we're going to come up towards a standing practice. So curl the back toes under. And you're going to lift, press through the hands as you lift the knees off the mat and walk back your hands towards your feet. So we're going to end up at the bottom of the mat with the length of the mat in front of us. If you want to take that blanket off to the side, we'll remove our props, clearing some space. Take the feet and make sure as you look at them that they're hip width apart. Take the hands, and these are bent knees, right? So we've got our rib cage on the thighs. Let's do a little bit of toning on our way up. So we're going to take those arms, take the fingertips, and just trace the mat behind you. Reach the arms up behind you like you're grabbing a block between your hands behind you. And then, so again, your ribs are on the thighs. We're going to come up into chair, so sweep the arms down towards the earth, and then next to the ears, nice and long, lift the ribs off the thighs. Sit back in an imaginary chair. Inhale, all the way down to the pelvis. Exhale, feel the toning. Keep the knees behind the toes. And stand down strong through your feet and lift up slowly to standing. Since we've been down the ground a while, just be nice and easy as you travel upwards. Sweep the arms down towards the side of the body. We're going to take a nice confident walk forward. So step forward with the right foot. Here we are in our hip width apart feet. You can take that a little wider if you want. You're going to take the front toes, the right toes pointing forward, and the toes on the back foot are going to angle about 45 degrees. We're going to take the right hand to the top of the right thigh. Where are the hip bones? They're pointing towards the top of the mat. As you take that right hand towards the right thigh, press inward towards the inner thigh. So you're going to feel that sense of inward rotation of the right leg and just those fingertips going towards the right, towards the inner thigh on the right. That's going to remind you to keep that leg going inward a little bit as we tilt forward. So take the left hand to the sacrum. The back of the left hand is going to be on the sacrum. Notice that curve in the lower back. Inhale. Let's take ourselves tall towards the sky through the crown of the head. At the same time, on your exhale, feel your feet and then hinge forward right about where your right hand is at the top of the thigh. Hinge forward. We're coming toward pyramid pose here. So we're just tilting forward only as far as is comfortable. Exhale, tilting downward. Again, this is that pyramid shape I mentioned in my email. Come back up through an inhale, float back up. Now we're going to, again, keep those hip bones pointing forward as you bend on your right leg and step forward towards the top of the mat. And now we're set up for our next movement. So in mountain pose, we've got both feet strong, but we're going to inhale so that the weight is on the right side, and you're going to lift your left knee up into that right angle, which should feel familiar by now, but we'll make sure that right glute stays nice and engaged so we're not dropping into the right hip. Press forward as if you're pressing on the gas. Straighten the left leg. And then come back. And we're going to take a brief tree here, so I'll turn around and show you. I'm going to kickstand my left toes here, or place the left foot on the side of the shin. And inhale the arms up above the body. So next to the right ear, next to the ears, geez, right next to the ears. Take your version of tree, however you like to do that. Practice balance here. Tree is such a calming pose, so just imagine your favorite tree. Sweep the arms out into T arms, take the hands to the hips, bring that knee forward again, the left knee this time, and then reach the left toes towards the top of the mat, trace a line in the sand, and we're going to trace that all the way back towards the back of the mat. And we're going to come into the stance that we started with, which is right toes forward, back toes at an angle. And this time we're coming into warrior one. So we're going to bend the right knee towards those two middle toes, drop the tailbone, point it downward as the pelvis drops. Inhale into that pelvis so you have a sense of it going down. Exhale, connect with your feet. So we're setting ourselves up. Where are the hip bones? Again, they're pointing forward towards the front of the mat. And then inhale the arms next to the body, not next to the body, next to the ears. Grow long like we were doing earlier and press the palms together in prayer. Look up briefly at the hands. And then exhale, look forward. Feel your feet magnetize together, nice and strong warriors. On your next exhale, let's sweep the arms out into T. So they're your wingspan, and that's going to bring you forward into mountain. So tiptoe forward or fly forward into mountain pose. We're going to take a walk back. We're going to go backwards, walk back to the back of the mat. That's our lovely standing sequence. We're going to do the other side now. So let's take a confident walk forward with that left foot. And we're doing the opposite. So the back foot on the right side this time is at that angle. Take the left hand, press on that left thigh. Take the back of the right hand to the bottom of the sacrum. And notice that you want to keep that lower back curve, right? Hip bones pointing forward. Grow tall through the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale, hinge forward toward our pyramid pose. So we're hinging at the left hip. But let's not lose the integrity of that curve in our lower back. If you start to curve forward, that means you need to lift up toward the diagonal. Don't overdo it. Press through your feet. Feel a connection of that long spine. Press through the feet and come back up. Drop the hands next to the body. And we'll walk again forward to our mountain pose at the top of the mat. Take the hands to the hips and we'll inhale the right leg up this time. So bend the right knee into that right angle. Find the glutes support on the left side. Find that tower that you're supporting. And let's press through the right heel. Nice long, straight right leg. And then bend the knee again. And I'm going to kickstand my right toes out towards tree. So my right knee is out to the side at a diagonal, or I can take the right foot next to the right shin, lift the arms next to the ears, play with your tree pose here. You can feel the breeze, you can hear the breeze in the leaves of the tree. Sway, practice your balance. And then sweep the arms back to the hips. Bring that knee forward. Straighten out the right leg, point the toes. and trace a line in the sand back to the back of the mat. Plant that back foot again so you're nice and strong in your stance with the hips pointing forward. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, point the tailbone down as you bring those hips down towards the mat, bending the left knee towards those middle two toes. Warrior one. Find your feet, connect them together so we can find a center point and lift the arms next to the ears. As you inhale, grow taller. As you exhale, connect to your foundation. Press the palms together in prayer and look up at those hands. Exhale, look forward. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, take the wingspan out, T arms. Fly forward, back to mountain. And you take a walk backwards to the back of the mat. See if we have a few moments, if we can do this flow on our own. I'm going to take just a few cues for you, but connect with the breath, okay? Start with right leg forward, inhale, grow tall. Exhale, right leg forward. Hinging at the hip, pyramid. Back up to vertical, walk to the front of the mat. Left knee up, leg straight. Bring it back to tree pose. Knee forward. Trace that line with the left foot back. Establish warrior one. Look up. Wingspan, arms out. Walk forward. And find the back of the mat. Again, if you want to go a little slower, that's fine. Walk forward with the left. Hinge forward. Pyramid. Forward to mountain. Bend the right knee. Balance, straighten the right leg. Back to tree. Knee forward. Point the toes. Trace that line. Back of mat. Warrior one. Hands in prayer. Look up. Look forward. Wingspan. Back to mountain pose. Beautiful. Let's come to the back of the mat. If you have that block, you can grab the block, squeeze it between the thighs. Inhale the arms up above the body. Squeezing that block, let's take a forward bend so we're flat back, hinging at the hips. And if you need to bend the knees, that's okay, but see if you can keep the legs straight as you squeeze the block and bring your fingertips down to earth. Whatever you can do to get the fingertips down, you can bend the knees if you want. And we'll walk the hands forward, squeezing the block into a down dog. So we've got the block between the thighs, the arms out, hands planted towards the top of the mat. Head between those arms, reaching long. You should feel so much longer now that the downward dog reach has really grown. Squeeze the block. Feel the length in the spine, delicious. More growth in your spine today. Bend the knees, bring them down to the earth. And remove the block over to the side. And bring yourself. Recline on your back, knees up towards the sky. Feet on the mat. Inhale. Exhale. You did a lovely flowing sequence there. Feel the warmth that you've created in the body. The fluidity that you've brought to your joints, to your skeleton. Roll over onto your left side. Keep the knees married together. And then we'll take that pelvis, make sure it's 90 degrees to the floor. Bring the palms together. We're going to take an archer twist here. So we're going to pull back on the right side. So trace the left arm with the right fingertips, right hand to the heart, elbow to the sky, and then reach back like you're pulling back a bow and arrow with your right hand, right fingertips, elbow reaches over to your right side, and just gaze at your left side for a moment, feeling your rib cage turn over towards the right. See if you can keep those knees together as you reach the other direction with your elbow. So your knees are staying together, reaching on the left side, but you're reaching with that right elbow as the ribs turn. Now you can open up the right arms into a T. Turn the head. Maybe you gaze over the right fingertips. And sweep back with that right arm in a nice semicircle and bring it back to the left. We can take one more round of that. So pull back the bow there. Spend a moment gazing over your left fingertips. And then open up that right arm to a T, arms with the left, gaze over the right. And then bring that back together, reaching that circumference of the semicircle above you. Oh, that should feel delicious. And take the knees together. Keep that strength through your mid body as you come over onto your right side, rolling over. I'll change my position. And we'll take our palms together on our right side. Let's do that position again, but opposite side. Draw the left fingertips along the right arm, left hand to the heart. And then the elbow reaches. You can gaze over those right fingertips like you're taking a shot through a bow and arrow. And then reach the arms out into T position, long wingspan, and then look over your left fingertips. Sweep the left arm up, meet the palms together, and travel through this again. Inhale, hand to heart, elbow out to the left. Keep the gaze soft, T arms. Look over the left fingertips. And then bring it back together. We can take even one more go here. We have another moment. Pull through the twist. When you're ready, you can roll over onto your back. Keep the knees bent for a moment. Take the knees together and the feet out to the sides of the mat. So you can give your lower back a little tour here. Close the eyes. And just notice If today's practice, what we did, we warmed up that lower back, we lengthened, I hope decompressed a bit from our everyday movements. Take the arms next to the body, the palms up towards the sky. Take your fists beside you along your mat and pull down towards your feet. You'll notice that the shoulder blades roll down towards the pelvis a little bit. And then you can release the hands and open the palms up. This time your collarbones will be more open and your shoulders will be rolling towards the earth. In this easy pose here, bring yourself within. Find your breath and take a tour of your skeleton, joints, muscles, noticing any lingering tension. Use that inhale to heal, send healing, and release to those places through your exhale. Lengthen your right leg along the mat. Lengthen your left leg along the mat. Allow those busy feet to flop out to the side. Notice your sacrum on the mat again. The lift of your lower back off the mat. As we travel up the spine, we notice that the back of the ribs meets the mat. The shoulder blades pressing against the mat, nice and open. Travel between the shoulder blades towards the shoulder sockets. Releasing with each exhale a little bit more of the tension that we brought with us to practice. Leave it behind. The curve in your neck, lifting off the mat. Finding the back of the skull on the mat. Holding that. Protecting our brain and mind activity. The flurry of your thoughts still there. Just continue to breathe and watch the thoughts float by like clouds in the sky. Bringing relief to any tension in the face. Now inviting an inhale into the whole body. Exhaling. Another whole body inhale. Whole body exhale. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll over onto your right side. Help yourself up with your hands to a seated position and we'll meet on the mat. Seated, again, finding that anchor of our sits bones. Earth below, sky above. And our connection within and between those points, so much stronger than it was an hour ago. Take the hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today, and thank you to Huck for doing our tech background. Namaste.